wandered all over. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, writes in his famous Meditations, and he says, you haven't found what you're looking for. And what was he looking for? He says he was looking for how to live. That's what philosophy is supposed to be, a guide to the good life. As a young man, that's what drew me to Stoicism. The education system had failed me. The church had failed me. Culture had failed me. My own parents had failed me. No one had shown me what a good life was built around. But that is what Stoicism is about, how to be excellent in all the forms. This is an old and essential one that's been proven time and time again in my own experience, but it comes from the screenwriter William Goldman. He says, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything about what's going to work. People have an idea, they're really quick and firm with what they tell you obviously isn't a good idea, what's obviously going to fail, but they don't know. When I went to my publisher with an idea to write a book about an obscure school of ancient philosophy, they were not that excited. They were just hoping I would get it out of my system. They offered me half what I got for my first book for this second book that I did about Stoic philosophy. And then it went on to sell millions of copies and reach millions of people all over the world. They're happy to take credit for it afterwards, but nobody knows. I didn't even really know. You want to trust yourself, but you want to have some humility. You want to have confidence. You want to listen to the feedback, the wisdom out in the world, but also not take it too seriously. Almost nothing that ultimately succeeds was a sure thing at the time. In fact, a lot of people thought it was crazy. A lot of people thought it was a bad idea. You got to understand that nobody really knows. It would be wonderful if life was fair and everyone was kind and decent, if cause always led to the right effect, if karma was real, but it's not. That's not how life is, man. Life is unfair. Life is heartbreaking. Life is cruel. And your youthful idealism is important, but it can't be naivete. Don't go expecting Plato's Republic, Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations. Cicero said something similar about Cato. He said Cato's problem was that he believed he lived in Plato's Republic and not, he said, in the dregs of Romulus, where he actually resided. You got to be realistic. You got to have both eyes open. One of the novels I read in my 20s was All the King's Men.